Hey guys, it's Carolina here from KarolinasKrafts and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to do a tutorial on this hexagon style album that I made. So just as like a little recap so you guys could see the flip through, and the full flip through is on my channel. I'll have it linked down below in case you guys want to see that. But this is what we are going to be making. Now, when I made this album, I had designed it specifically to be able to use 6x6 papers. So that is what I did, and that's what we're going to recreate again today. And that's just kind of what it looks like. So let's go ahead and get started on this cutie. Okay, so if you guys saw the other video, you guys would have known that I used this die set from Scrap Diva Designs. It is her Hexagon double stitched die set. Highly recommend getting any shaped dies because you could do so many different things with them. And I made an album like this that, you know, has like a hinge. So I made an album like that, but then I also made an album with just the shape using my like cinch machine. So there's different ways that you could use it, and you could just use it as like photo mat areas in an album. Like you could do a regular album and just have, you know, cut these out and use them as photo mats. So it's just really cute for so many different things. But we're going to be making this guy here today. Now, like I said, because I used 6x6 paper to make this one, I'm going to be using the second largest hexagon shape. And even though I'm using 12x12 paper today, I still want to recreate it exactly like this so that you can use 6x6 paper if you want to. So I used this guy right here, the second largest, and this is going to cut out my, my patterned paper. For the outside, as you could see, the whole outside will be this size, but for the outside, all you're going to do is trace this onto like some black cardstock and then just cut it out. You want the outside to be the size of the die, and then your patterned paper is going to be where it cuts out on this line in the center. So that's what I did for mine. And you're going to need, I think it's 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8 pieces. And I think I counted correctly. If I need more later, then I'll add more, but I think it's 8 pieces of that. So all I did was trace this onto black cardstock. I'm using artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations. I think I did a heavier weight one on this just because I had a heavier one that was a 12x12 size for this one. But for this one, I think this is 87 pound, I want to say. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So like I said, trace this onto some cardstock. You're going to need 8 pieces cut out and traced. Okay, we're not doing any die cutting yet, just cut out and traced for now. Then you're going to need a piece that measures 5 1/8 inches wide by 2 7/8 inches tall. And on the 5 1/8 inch side, I'm scoring at 2 inches and 3 1/8. And this is going to be the spine of my album. And there's so many different ways for you guys to make this and put it together. But I'm showing you guys the way that I did it. So I cut out that piece, and then I have my, my hexagons already cut out. And I'm just gonna glue it down. One on the inside, one on the outside. Actually, maybe I'll just glue it. It kind of ends up being the same thing, right? Well, let me get my glue. Okay, I actually have like no glue in here, so I need to refill my glue first. And I'm on my last refill. I had like 5 of these, but I've been crafting so much, I've been going through them kind of fast. And I gotta order some more. You guys know I love my Barely Art glue. It is my favorite glue. And that's all basically I use in terms of wet glue. If you guys want to get anything, I will have a coupon code on the screen. I think it's just Carolina, but I will clarify when I post that on the screen, and also in the description box, so you guys can get 10% off your order. So yeah, I just use these and I refill my glue as needed. I love this glue. It's my favorite. It doesn't freeze, so you could have it shipped in the winter as well. Even though we're going into spring now, so that's even better, but it does not freeze. So if I had needed some in the winter, I would have ordered some and would have had no problem with that at all. Okay, so there is my glue. I had to get that refilled because there was like no glue in there. So I'm just gonna put some glue down on this hinge that we created. Okay, I'm gonna put this down like this, and I'm just gonna put down my hexagon. Get it kind of centered on there without going over the score line. Okay, just like that. I actually feel like maybe I might need more paper to make this part sturdier, because I do that on the inside. So I might need more hexagons. Okay. So again, you're just not going over the score line. And then like that's basically your whole entire base of your album right there. Go ahead and burnish those pieces on there. And I did use, I forgot to mention, I used 110-pound cardstock just to make the spine. I want that extra sturdy. This we can make sturdier, like the hexagons, with adding another paper here, but there's not going to be too much that you could do with the spine. So that's what I did there. I feel like I am going to need more hexagons. I think I'm going to need 10 total. So I'm going to cut out 2 more. And I'm gonna glue these down to have another layer. I think I am gonna do that. I didn't do that on my other one. I didn't glue it on the base to double mat it, but for this one, because I'm using 87-pound paper instead of the 110-pound like I did with the other one, or maybe I did 100-pound on the other one. I'm not entirely sure, but I am gonna double these hexagons. So I'm just lining it up with the one underneath it, and that's just gonna make it sturdier. And same thing on this one. I don't know why I always go like back and forth with my glue rather than just going like one time like I go like this, like instead of just making like a strip of glue. I don't know why I do that. Okay, so you just want to line it up and make sure you're not going over that score line. Okay, that definitely makes it sturdier, but I'm definitely going to need some more hexagons. Okay, so now you're going to need another piece because we're going to add another layer kind of inside here. So you're going to need another piece that measures 4 3/8 by 2 7/8. And then on the 4 3/8 inch side, you're going to score at 2 inches and 2 3/8. So we're just giving ourselves like a 2 3/8 inch gusset on the inside. So here we go. I'm going to grab my hexagons. Okay, so you're just going to put some glue on these smaller pieces now, or on this other, I guess, hinge. And I want to make sure that that goes that way. And again, you're just not going over the score line. And for this inside hinge, I just used the same paper as this, so the 87-pound. Just the outside one, I did 110-pound cardstock. Okay. So we're going to get the second one glued down too. Okay, and then you're gonna go ahead, yeah, I'm definitely gonna need, oh no, yeah, I need 2 more of these because I have pages inside that I need flip outs for. So I will need to cut 2 more. So you're gonna need a total of 10 of these outer hexagons. You can see before I glue them down, I'm just doing like a dry fit, making sure. See, why do I keep doing that instead of just going all the way around? You just want to make sure they're lined up without going over the score line. And if it's over the score line, you're gonna have to cut off just a little bit. Like I think I'm gonna have to cut off a little bit on mine for this one. Yeah, I have a little bit of hangover on this one for some reason. I mean, that could just be due to the way that I was cutting my hexagons, because like I said, I was tracing and cutting them out. So it's okay. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some glue on this hinge here on the outside. Kind of want to spread that out a little. And then I'm gonna put it on in the middle. So just kind of eyeball it to where you have maybe like even amounts of hexagon on each side, and then once it's a little stuck down, just fold it. And I have a little bit more space on the left than I do the right, so I'm just moving it over a little bit. Maybe that looks pretty good. Maybe just a little uneven. Okay, so that's gonna look like that. Then you're gonna burnish that. And now you have your 4 kind of pages in your album. Just make sure that these get a good burnish in there. Okay, so that is our base. I'm gonna cut out 2 more hexagons and I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut out a couple more hexagons. These are gonna be for pages, but I actually cut out a 3rd one because this will cut down into a pocket later on. So maybe, I guess, I mean, you don't have to do a full one like that. You could have just, you know, traced out and cut half of it. I just did a full one, so technically I guess I'm using 11 of these hexagons that you outline and cut out from this die set. Now I'm going to use 2 of these full-size ones, and I'm going to use these little pieces. These are just 1 inch by 2 7/8. Yeah. 1 inch by 2 7/8, and on the 1 inch side I scored at 1/2 inch just to make little like hinges, because that's what we're going to use to attach these pages. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold these. I don't know if I cut enough. I might need to cut more, but for now I was just using some scraps. So I just cut out 3. And throughout this album, we are going to have to put down patterned paper in order to do this album, because I can't make some of the elements or stick them down unless I put down patterned paper first. Okay, so this one I'm going to be putting on this page here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put some glue on this hinge right here. Probably should be using the smaller glue right now, the one that has like a finer tip, so I don't get so much glue on out at once. But all right, so I'm gonna put this down here, just at the top of that like first page on the inside that's not the inside cover. Go ahead and burnish that. Okay, and then you're gonna put down a hexagon on top of that hinge. Okay, so I kind of have my hexagon where I want it to go. So now I'm gonna put glue on this other hinge. And stick it down. Okay, so this is gonna open up like this. You can see that's where my hinge is attached and everything is working perfectly there. And I will be adding a magnet down here. So maybe I should do that now, actually. So I'm going to be using these magnets from Total Element, and you guys could use the code, I think it's KarolinasKrafts, for 10% off your order. Again, I'll have it linked down below and written correctly on the screen. But I'm going to use 2 of these. These are the ones that do not have the adhesive. However, they do sell ones with adhesive, so I will link you guys to both. I have both, but I have to use up both, so, and I will be using up both, so it doesn't matter to me which one I'm using right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put down a magnet here. I want to leave some space to put like a little ribbon, like a little ribbon pull tab. So I'm just kind of trying to get that in the middle-ish and take that off. I'm gonna put down my first magnet, stick it down on there, and then I just let the other one kind of stick on top of that. And for this one, I'll just put like a larger piece of tape, and I'm gonna fold it on top here and get that to close with the tape around it. Okay, so there is my little like magnetic closure there. And then I did the same thing for this inside back cover. So I'm gonna do this pull tab, not pull tab, this little like tab again. Just like another fun flip out page. Okay, making sure this is gonna fit correctly. And then put glue on the other side of that tab. Beautiful. So that's going to open like that. And again, I'm going to use 2 more magnets. And you could stick these down any way that you want. I mean, some people, instead of just putting like a little piece of tape, you could have done it the same way I showed you guys the second time before. So you could just put down like a bigger piece of tape like this. And then get the other magnet to stick on top. Well, I guess you're gonna have to lift it back up anyway, but another piece of tape, let it stick down. And then get that stuck down there. So there you go. Now I have all of that with my magnets. Then I had like a pocket inside here. Now, what I did on mine before, so technically you don't need this 11th piece. What I did is just used a patterned paper and then added a little bit of gold. I think this time I might use this guy. We'll see. We'll see if we're gonna use him or not. But we did this page. We just did that one, which was the flip out. This next page here is gonna have a belly band, but I think I need to start putting down some solid papers and picking out solids, because I can't make this page unless I have my solid paper here first. Okay guys, let's figure out what papers I'm gonna be cutting into with the die. This is the paper pad I'm gonna be using. It is called Bees by Parklane. So like I said, you can use a 6x6 paper pad for this. I did for this album. I used a 6x6, which is why I did the second to largest hexagon size and not the largest size. So I'm just kind of keeping it the same. And well, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna put on the cover. So we're definitely gonna use one of these sheets, and I'm thinking either BU or maybe Be Happy, and the hexagon would be different orientation, but that's fine. So maybe one of those. So let me see what I want on my covers. I feel like I kind of like this pattern. Oh, that would be kind of nice. We could cut out maybe from like the corner and then have a BU, maybe this corner. I might actually do this corner because this has like the honeycomb on all the sides. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of put my die down. And I'm just gonna kind of cut out all the paper that I wanna get cut through the die cutting machine, just so I kind of have a plan. Okay. So there's going to be one of the dies. And then I have to also think about what's going to go on the inside. I don't want another honeycomb pattern yet. Let me see this one. Okay, this one I'm going to probably cut out too, because this could be a blank space in the album, like a solid space to journal and stuff, and then this will be another another design. So I'm gonna cut this out. Actually, I might do two of these. So we're just gonna cut out a bunch from here. Because otherwise, like, I don't want to waste this paper. Even though it's plain, I want to find a way to use it. I wonder if I could cut one out from here. Nope, because we're cutting inside a little bit of this gold foil and not including that gold foil, we're not like able to get two next to each other. Okay, so that's another one. Ooh, okay, so I feel like I want the bees somewhere on here. Wondering if I should be like this pattern. And then the background maybe black. And then the layer on top, maybe gray. Do we have a black? We have bees. Oh, we got this one. I like this one. Okay, so I'm going to cut out a corner of this. my gosh, I just realized I think I'm cutting all of these out the wrong orientation because I'm putting the flat side up, but my album is gonna go this way. So this one will work, these will work. I don't know if this one's gonna work anymore. I mean, it will a little bit, and it's gonna have to have the gold. Oh, actually, this could go this way. That will work. Okay. I mean, it's a good thing I realize now, but I should have realized before. And this one will work too. Okay. I just gotta remember the point goes up. All right, I'm gonna cut these out and see where I'm at so far. I also get this question all the time of what die cutting machine I use, and I mostly use just like the Sizzix Big Shot right here. That's what I use most of the time. Occasionally, if it's like a bigger die, I'll use my Big Shot Plus, which is like an electronic one, but most of the time I just use this handheld or hand cranking one. Okay, so that die cut out, and we have this, and you guys could see the beautiful stitching, and that's just gonna go on the front cover of my album, which is, where is my album? Under all this paper. Okay, so it's gonna be on my front cover here, and that's gonna fit perfectly with a little bit of that black border. So I could have this hand cranking machine linked down below in case you guys are interested. I love this pattern right here. It's so pretty. I don't know where that's gonna go in my album, but it is very pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna do some paper clipping because you guys know that's how I do before I stick things down. Okay, so I'm thinking I like this guy, so maybe he'll be like this top piece here for the flap. But then that means, oops, I don't need to paper clip both. That means when this opens up, I think this piece would be right here. And then I don't know what's gonna go down there yet. And then this piece is gonna be the background for this, but we are gonna cut out some smaller pieces, so I want that B paper on here. All right, so let's figure out all my papers so before we do the rest of this. So I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna die cut out some more of the same size just to go on all the backgrounds everywhere, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I picked out most of my papers here. And I'm gonna start, you know, just gluing some things down. So in order to do that, obviously I gotta take off the paper clips, but I'm gonna start with the cover. I know I want a ribbon tie closure, and yes, we're gonna do this whole entire album today, you guys. So don't worry, I'll be sharing with you guys everything. But this is just kind of how I work. This is why either I show you guys usually just the base, because I'm all over the place. But also when it comes to these kinds of albums, I generally paper clip a lot of things, and in order for me not to do that, I have to do the paper matting. So I'm just gonna start with the cover. There's still some stuff on the inside we're gonna have to cut out for like pages and things, but for right now we're just gonna do some paper matting here. So I'm just adding in my ribbon. I'm just using a black ribbon. This is actually from like it's like a pet themed set I got off of Amazon, but I needed the black. So here's like the pet theme. Comes in like white and black, and then it had like solid black and solid white. So that's just kind of what I'm using here. So it works. Okay, and I like to usually do like about 10 inches. So I'm just cutting around the 10-inch mark. And we might have some left over for, you know, other parts of my album. Okay, so did I do any stitching? I did. I'm not gonna, I guess, do this yet. So we'll paper clip this. Oh, in a second I'll paper clip it back on. But I did want to do this piece here. So this is the inside front cover. Okay, and you're just gonna get that stuck down. Okay, this piece, I do want a little ribbon pull. So I'm just gonna cut off another little piece of this black ribbon. And I generally like to do the ribbon pulls on the inside. So like right there. Okay, so I'm just putting down a little piece of tape, getting my pull on there, then I'm going to put down another piece of tape to kind of hold that down. Get this folded over, leaving a little piece for the ribbon pull. I don't want any overhang over the magnet, so I'm going to cut that off, and then another piece of tape. And you could do glue. Sometimes I use, what is it, my Fabri-Tac glue, because that's really good for like fabric and stuff. So sometimes I do use that, but for right now, I just wanted to do this. So I'm gonna add in this piece. I didn't do all my pages yet, like I didn't do this part yet. So I'm just still trying to figure things out, but I know that this piece was ready to go. Okay, so that's gonna go right there, and then on, nope, that's the front cover. And then here, we wanted to do this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. Okay, and that looks like that. So now we're gonna go to this page here. Here we're gonna have a belly band, but the belly band is just gonna go kind of like right on top of that. So I'm able to glue this whole thing down. I haven't done the belly band yet because I wanna see what scraps I have from the full sheets that I'm working with. I think it's gonna be, I wanna say it's gonna be that pattern. But on my other album, what I did, because I was working with leftover 6x6 paper and I didn't even have the full 6x6 paper pad when I started working on that project, what I did for the belly band is I just used scraps and cut out a bunch of hexagons with like the smallest die from the set. Let me see. I think it was the smallest. Yeah. So I just cut out a bunch from this, yeah, the smallest die set, whatever I had with my scraps. And then I made that into a belly band, but I'm gonna have enough paper for this album, so I'm not gonna have to do that here. But I will glue down these other pages before I come back to this one that needs all those other elements. This one's gonna have a pocket again also. So this is gonna just get glued down here. Okay. Here, I know I want this on the cover. Okay, and then I am gonna do another little piece of ribbon there. Okay, so there's my little ribbon there. Okay, I think we're ready to do this page. So I know this is gonna go down here, but I cannot glue this guy down yet. This is the page that's gonna look like this. So what I need to do now is find this hexagon shape, which I think is the 1, 2, 3, the 4th one. It sure is. Okay, so that is the 4th one, 4th largest in this die set. So if you're counting from the outside, just count down to the 4th one. And what I'm gonna do, because I want that to be the same B paper that I just put in the back, just like another layer there, I'm gonna cut the B paper out of this first. So this is the B paper, and I wanna do this size of my hexagon. Okay, I'm gonna die cut this out. Okay, so I die cut out my little bees here, and that's gonna go right here, right? So with this, I need like an outside kind of layer. So what I'm gonna do is I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 65-pound cardstock, and I just folded it in half. I want this opening to the side, and I do want a little bit of some of that black border. So I'm gonna line this up like here, and then we're just gonna cut around it. And you could do the same thing. You could do it with the die set. You could just trace the die set. Sometimes I just like to do it with the pattern paper since it's right here. So I'm just gonna not cut along that scored line, but I will cut around it. Okay, so now I have this little piece right here. That's gonna go right on top of here. I am gonna cut out, I think, let's do, or actually, we could do that same paper I did before. I was gonna do white, but let me find that other scrap with like that off-white kind of color. Here, we could die cut out another one of those patterns here. I mean, it's not really a pattern, it's just a solid, but that's gonna work great on the inside of that, so it's not just black, and somebody could either journal or add a photo. So let me die cut this out now. Okay, so this is gonna go inside of here. Okay, yeah, this is good so far. All right, so now what I need to do before I even do anything with those, I need to put down this hinge on here. So I cut it down to, it was 1 inch by 2 7/8, and it's scored down the middle at 1/2 inch on the 1 inch side. But this is too long, as you guys can see here, because now this is a smaller hexagon. So I'm just gonna eyeball and just cut some off. Okay, so I'm just gonna glue this guy down. And this is going on the same side of where this kind of opens. So on the same area right there. So I'm just gonna glue this down, get it in the center. Okay. And then what you're gonna do is line this up here, because I want this to be like even, right? So I'm just gonna line that up, and I'm just gonna kind of like trace it where that line is. And I'm just gonna cut a slit into that right there. So I'm just grabbing my cutting mat. I got my, what is this called? My cutting blade. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, X-Acto knife, I think, something along those lines. I'm just gonna go a little bit inside that pencil mark, and that's where I'm going to cut. Obviously you wanna use a ruler for this. Make sure it's as straight as possible. And I'm just gonna kind of cut. Okay, so I have that little slit there now. I'm gonna erase my pencil mark. And you just wanna make sure that this fits inside there. So I'm gonna attempt to put that inside. It doesn't look like it's fitting. Oh, it's because I didn't cut this part all the way. There we go. Okay, so that's gonna get in there, and then this side is just gonna get glued down. So when you open this up, you're gonna have this open and then this open. Try not to get glue everywhere. I might have to do, maybe we'll do like a photo mat there. So yeah, just kind of make sure that opens up, and that's what it's gonna look like. And now I'm ready to glue this piece down to my album. Wait, did I do that right? No, I can't glue that down yet. I need, okay, we're just gonna leave that on the side. I forgot, I need a belly band for the next part. So I'm also gonna use, let's see, what size? I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it the 8th size in? Yep, 8th size in. I'm gonna cut out from one of the gray sheets that I have around here. I think that's what we're gonna do. Let me see. Or maybe do I wanna do, I can't glue this down right now. I know that that's gonna go there. Maybe I wanna do the stripes. So I'm gonna cut this out just from here. Got a little piece there. And then we're gonna use the scrap from what I just cut out before from that 8.5 by 11 sheet. We're gonna use this scrap in a second. Okay, so I have this guy right here, right? And what I need to do is, well, dry this up first. That's what I need to do. Okay, let's pretend this is gonna get stuck down here, right? And this is gonna go right here. We do still need to add magnets, so don't worry, we're gonna get there. And then this is gonna go in the center here. So I'm just gonna grab this piece here. And I'm gonna glue this down on the edge. Am I gluing it down? Yeah, the magnet is gonna go on the inside. I actually think I need another one of these cut out. Okay, so I have that. I'm just gonna take my cutting board, I guess, and I'm gonna cut straight until like, you know, with that flat end there. And I'm just gonna cut right up to it, or close to it. I don't want to go too close because I know I still need to cut out my hexagon. Okay, so I have that guy there, and now I'm just gonna cut around this hexagon. Okay, I think I want this hexagon a little crooked. Okay, so I have that hexagon there, and then I want this to go right in the center here. So I know I need a score line right there. So I'm just gonna use my pencil and just kind of mark where my score line's gotta go. Oh, no, sorry guys. I don't want my score line there. I want my score line all the way at the end of that page, not at the end of this first one. Okay. Good thing I double checked that before I scored it. Okay, so now I'm just gonna line this up on some kind of score line and score that. Okay. And that should fit perfectly. Okay, so now before I glue any of that down, which I didn't do a good job of wiping it, but it's okay. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this guy down right here. So I'm just gonna glue this hinge down and just get it in the center of that page. Okay, before I do anything else, I'm gonna cut out another one of those hexagons. I'm just gonna do the same design right here. So is the sides right? Yeah. And I'm just gonna get another one cut out from the same paper. I'm also gonna find myself some gold scraps. I just have a bunch of gold scraps here. I know that this is gonna go here and this is gonna have a magnet, so I'm gonna put down a magnet right now. I'm gonna use the same ones I've been using throughout this album, the 3/8 inch, and like I said, I will link these down below, and you guys can use the code KarolinasKrafts for 10% off your order. I love these magnets. I even like the ones that have the adhesive, but if you guys want to spend even less money, get it without the adhesive and you could just add your own adhesive. They also have like adhesive sheets if you wanted to do that, but honestly, I'm fine with using whatever. Like, I don't really have a preference. It's nice to have the ones with adhesive, but honestly, I don't really have a preference, and that's just me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this magnet like in the center there, and I'm gonna cover that up with some tape. And then I'll be able to glue this guy down, but I think before I do that, I want to put this guy down. So for this kind of belly band area, I need a piece that measures about 1 inch by 1.5. I'm gonna do a little bit longer than by 1.5. So we're gonna do like 1 by 1 3/8. So that's 1 inch, and let's do 1 3/8. And I'm gonna do 2 pieces like that, one for the outside, one for the inside. Oh wait, 1.5 is smaller. well, sorry, 1 3/8 is smaller, so I'm going to do 1 5/8. That's what I meant to do. Okay, so I have 2 pieces, 1 inch by 1 5/8. And this guy should fit perfectly right here. And then this guy's gonna go over it, yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down. Okay, and then I'm gonna glue this hexagon. Okay, and then this piece is going to get glued on the outside here. Now because I glued this one down first, this one's a little too long, so I think this one might need to be the 1 1/2 inch size. So we're just going to cut off that little piece and see. No, a little bit more, because I want that border of black. Okay, that's good. So this is not, it's 1 line bigger than 1 3/8, or technically I guess 1 line shorter than 1 1/2. Okay, so this guy's gonna go right here. Okay, so now I'm finally ready to glue this down. Just make sure your opening is to the left for that second like additional flap there. Okay, I feel like I want to add this right here, so I'm gonna do that. I know I was gonna add it like on the inside at first, but I want to cover up this hinge right there, especially because I used 2 different kinds of cardstocks, so the black is like just a little shade different. Okay, and then I do want to add something here too, so I don't know, maybe I'll do another piece like that, or I mean I do have the scrap. I think maybe that's just what I'll do. Just cut out another one from that same size. I think it was the 4th one in, right? Yeah. I mean, if I still have this, why not? Because what else am I going to use it for? Okay, so this is going to go right here also, and then you'll flip, and then you have another one. So that's going to work. Or maybe I should add it on this side. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I'll do it here. And then we'll just do another patterned paper right here once I figure out what that pattern paper is going to be. Actually, I think it might be the gray, because I ended up not doing gray here. So let's do the gray. So that's going to be this paper right here, and I'll just cut out a little piece to die cut it out. Okay, so this is gonna go right here. I think that looks good. And then on this page, you're gonna have this other magnet. So I'm just gonna grab some more double-sided tape. I wanna see where the magnet's gonna go right there. So I'm just gonna lift it up and put down the tape and then go ahead and fold that. Okay, now my tape is stuck down and I'm gonna add in this piece. Beautiful, so that's what it's gonna look like when that's closed. Isn't it so pretty, you guys? I like it. So here, like I said, we need a belly band. And I actually like how that looks with the larger yellow back there also. I think that looks good. Okay, so we need a belly band here. I'm gonna take, my scrap is not big enough. And actually we need a pocket still for here. So we gotta figure out those papers, and then we need a different pocket here. Okay, I'm just gonna cut a piece of black cardstock. I don't know, I'm kind of thinking like maybe I should do the striped again here. Maybe that would look nice. So I have this random black scrap piece cut at 1 1/4, and I just want it longer than these pages. So I kind of have an idea of where I want to cut this. So I want it to go. I'm gonna use like the extra hexagon piece that I have, and just kind of line that up in the middle and then cut around it. Okay, and then the same thing on this side. Okay, so I have my little belly band. It's gonna go right there, and I'm just gonna cut this to be 1 inch. Will this piece fit right here? That will. So I'm just gonna cut a piece 1 inch off of here. Actually, I cut off 1 1/8 because this was 1 1/4. So I did 1 1/8. So I'm gonna line this up at the top and a little bit past, so I can just cut off that shape. Okay, and then I'm gonna move it down a little bit so they're in like a little bit more, so I can have borders on both sides, and then cut off the other side. Okay, and then I could just move that back, and now I have borders on both sides. I like this. This is turning out super duper cute. Okay, so this is gonna go right here. Okay, and then I'm just going to glue the top and put some glue on the bottom. And I'm just gonna stick it down onto this page. I like that. That looks really cute, you guys. So that's my belly band area. This piece, we still gotta figure out what's gonna go here. This needs a pocket, and I'm thinking something yellow because it needs some yellow in here. So I just picked out some yellow paper from the collection, and I think that's just gonna go right down there. I might try to embellish it and like put like a little bee on it. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off, where's my ruler? Oh my gosh, guys, my desk is a mess right now. So I need about like something that's around 2 inches-ish tall. Let's do 2 1/8. So I'm gonna line this up into my paper trimmer because I need the bottom part of it. Okay. So I'm gonna line up at the corner at approximately 2 1/8. So this is 2 1/4 at this line, and I'm just gonna go in a little bit more, and let's pretend that's 2 1/8. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut that, and that is going to be my pocket. And then what I'm gonna do, just to get the paper on there, is I'm gonna take that same second to largest hexagon, and I'm just gonna cut off a little piece here. So I wanna make sure that's gonna fit. I'd rather have it fit and then have to cut off some more after. So that's good right there. And we're just cutting off a little piece. And I'm gonna die cut that out. Okay. And I might have to cut this down, which is okay. All right, so that works there. I'm gonna move this up a little bit on here, and I'm gonna cut off this extra because, like I said, I want that border all the way around. So I'm just gonna cut off that little sliver. And then that should be perfect. So let's glue this down. And this is not a hard album to do at all, you guys. It's just taking a while when you have to film and talk through everything and show everything, but this album doesn't take so long, and you're kind of doing like 2 in 1 because you're paper matting and you're making the base of the album at the same time. So I'm gonna use my thinner glue right now, the one with the thinner tip, and I'm just putting glue at the edges of this pocket, and just not on that one long straight line. That's not where we want it. We just want it on the edges, so that we glue this down here, and this will be a nice little pocket. Now I don't know what's gonna go inside these pockets yet. I'm definitely gonna use some cut aparts and some things from the collection, but now we have all that done, and the last thing we have is this pocket that I wanted to go here. Now for my other album, I used Scrap Diva's, like her slimline card, Hexagon or HoneyComb slimline card die set, and I had cut it out on a pattern paper, and then I glued that pattern paper onto vellum. So that's what I did on that one. But because I'm using actual bee paper right now, there's honeycomb pattern in the collection that I'm just gonna use, and I'll show you guys. So I'm gonna use this guy right here. Okay, I'm gonna use, where's the rest of my hexagon? So part of this hexagon we just used on the pocket right here in the front. This other part I want to cut on, it's going to be kind of like a diagonal, and I want the paper to kind of speak for itself. So I'm just going to cut out, well, that's interesting. I didn't cut that out, but it came like ripped like that up there. Anyway, so I'm just gonna start cutting around these hexagon shapes. Maybe not actually. What I did on the other one is I started cutting around the hexagon shapes, and I got like a different unique pattern. I don't know if I actually want to do that on here. I don't think I do, because it already has the hexagon, so it looks cool. Okay, so what am I doing? We are gonna cut this out I want this to go kind of from, I guess, around that corner to this corner. I didn't really need to draw that, but let's cut this down. Okay, and that's gonna go, yeah, right there. And then with that same hexagon, not this size, I need the second to largest size, I'm just gonna cut off like a little piece in this corner. And I think, and I do want it to go up to this corner up here. Oh, I think we just gotta cut off most of this. Let's just cut off the whole thing. And then we'll cut on a diagonal after. So I'm gonna die cut this out. Okay, so then I know that this is gonna go here. So I'm gonna do the same thing I just did before. This is gonna be like a regular border. I'm gonna go up a little bit more and then flip it and just kind of cut that out. I guess I didn't need that whole corner piece. I don't know what I was thinking, but it's okay. We could cut out like a tag from this or something and still include that in the album. I do have some pockets to fill up, so it's fine. That scrap will not be wasted. Okay, so then I'm just gonna glue this guy down. And by all means, if you wanna cut into the honeycomb like I did on the last album, you could definitely do that. I keep losing things. I don't know where my bone folder is now. I swear there's so many things on my desk right now. It's a little overwhelming actually. It's never like this when I'm not doing a video, but when I'm doing a video, okay, I have no idea where my bone folder is. Pressing down with our fingers, I guess, as best as we can, but I'm still gonna need it to glue this other part down. Okay, I found the bone folder, you guys. It took a while. I had to clean up a lot of stuff in order to find it. But anyway, so this is gonna go down here. So I'm just going to put some glue on everything except for that one long like line. And I want this diagonal, so it's gonna go like that. And yeah, it's not straight from here to here. I didn't want it like that, and that's fine. You could totally do it like half the thing, but I didn't want it like that. And then I just need to figure out what's gonna go on these inside pages. I know this is my back cover here. Just gonna take that off. Uh-oh, it's stuck to my tape there. And then that's basically the whole entire album. So I'm actually just gonna finish this up off camera. I'll do a project share in another video with all the other elements I added to it, but you guys at least now have the base of the album. I think that's the most important part. The rest of this is me just kind of cutting out more hexagons and filling it up with cut aparts and things like that. Do some stitching on the outside covers, and that is it. But at least you guys have the base now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial on how to make this album with the hexagon dies. I think it does turn out really, really cute. I highly recommend you guys give it a try, and just, you could do this with any shaped dies. It doesn't have to be a hexagon. You could do it with any shaped die, but these are also just great to have in your stash because, like I said, they can be used as photo mats. You could do a regular album and just use these dies as photo mats. Cut your paper out of it, your pictures out of it, and it could just be like a beautiful like shaped photo mat. So I'll have that link down below because you guys can get anything from Scrap Diva Designs with the code Carolina and get 10% off. So I'll have this link down below. And then, yeah, I hope you guys try giving this album a try. If you guys get the die set, try making this album. I love how it looks with the bee paper, a lot better than I like it with this birthday paper, but this birthday paper in general wasn't my cup of tea, so it was just like really hard to work with for me. But this one is just, it's looking really cute. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and I'll see you guys in my next crafty video. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.